Hey folks, Brent Bolin here. Obviously, we're recording this video on Walton tonight. I've been here with Tom Webster, Cole Webster, Parker, Bosley, and Julia, trying to get these voiceovers done on these boars. Guys, I don't know what to say. I'm extremely excited about what we put together, and just want everybody to know we decided not to do an open house this year. Our good friend Joe's having some health problems. I think everything's going great. We are farrowing like 120 litters, and we just decided that we just needed to take a break from the open house. We plan on having one next year. Just some things came up that we just didn't know if we had the manpower to pull it all off. So we're very excited about the boars. We're excited about the new boars, but I really think that what you need to look at is some of the proven older boars. We've had a really good summer getting in the Hampshire ring. We're offering some Lorenzen Yorkshires that need to be looked at. Those things have some genetic value. This set of Duroc boars, Cry About It's already had an extremely good summer. That's not even over yet. As we said here in July, the summer's not over. We think there's a lot of results. The crossbred boars, a boar like Stranger Things, this young set of boars that we've raised and bought, and real excited about the all-out boars that we got pigs on the ground. Guys, we're excited here at High Point. We're not going away. We decided to set out 1 year with open house because of just some timing issues and labor and trying to get everything done. But we hope you enjoy the video, and if you got any questions, we're having open house basically 6-7 days a week. We'll be around to show boars anytime you want, and I think we're really excited here at High Point. So thank you for watching.
So this is Cry About It. So that's the $90,000 Heimer boar, Max Heimer boar, not Heimer boar, Max Heimer boar from Louisville. Of course, I'm sure everybody knows. So that is Statement Day's mother, bred to Crybaby. And nobody needs to know anything about Statement Day, the kind of summer he's had and the record he's put together. So Statement Day's mother was a Rip. We sent Rip over to Heimers years ago. The boars that we sold to Adam Beck and Laird's back there in the winter, that was Rip's littermate sister. This Rip thing's very, very potent. So Jesse and the crew decided to line breed Crybaby back on a Rip sow because Crybaby is, once again, same deal. The bad news is we're super excited about this boar, but Crybaby died Tuesday. Can't make it up. So he got hurt. We took him out in the sand. 2 days, 3 days, we're good to go. Coming out, eating, drinking. Tuesday afternoon, dead. So he got buried back there I think he got buried by Tybo or Bocephus. He's back there in the good pen. So anyway, we named this boar Cry About It. There will be Crybaby frozen semen available. We're going to make that announcement on our website. But let's get back and talk about the boar in the ring. So line bred pedigree. I'll let the boar speak for himself. I know what the crew there at Heimers think. So the littermate sold for $80,000 in the exchange to SGI. And then, like I say, of course, this boar was champion, top selling there at Louisville. And I couldn't be more excited. I mean, we're pretty pumped up here at High Point to have this guy here and offer him to the public. And I think there's really, really good things coming forward. I mean, with what Statement Day did out of that elite sound, everybody knows it's all about those sows. And with this line bed pedigree, and we think Cry About It is going to be a very, very elite young Duroc sire. Semen's been good. Don't wait around on overrun. I'm just going to tell you right now. So if you're thinking that, it's probably not going to happen. I don't mean to be arrogant. I'm just saying it's probably not going to be there. I mean, demand's been very, very good.
The Cry About It son we've got here on video now, we named him Tearjerker. Once again, another Cry About It. So this sow is a loaded goat back on what we always call the old Eye of the Storm sow. She was shown once. She was grand champion when she showed one time. and probably has been in as many pedigrees here at High Point over the last few years on our red ones. Just study the video. I mean, there's not a lot you have to say about this hog. I think the video speaks for itself. Tom wanted to take one to Louisville, and obviously this was the one he wanted to take. And I said, well, I think there'll be quite a few good ones down there. And there was. I mean, I don't know where he would have fit in, but because Cry About It made a great showing there at Louisville, and obviously we purchased the top selling boar down there from the Deer and Lyles family. We are not going to have a video yet of him because he's still in quarantine. But we think this guy will fit in there with any of them, the Cry About It sons that are going to be out there once again. So this is Tearjerker, Cry About It, Loaded Goat. The Duroc boar we're looking at was raised here at High Point. He is a Cry About It. His mother is a Boomer Trickle. So that's a gilt litter. When we bought Cry About It last year, we basically bred almost all of our sows to him. We don't have a lot of red sows left here. And I would say when Cry About It summer is over, I'd say it's going to be a very, very exciting summer. Obviously, the success that we've already had there in these early shows with the Canal Barra, and then what happened there at the summer type conference, and we purchased obviously an exciting boar there from the Deer and Ellis family that we are not going to be able to video because he's still in quarantine. So we're going to show you two of these Cry About It sons. So once again, this is Choked Up. This is probably the unique one in terms of looseness. The skeleton really opened up, super level, balanced. I mean, just kind of fits what I think Cry About It's going to do. But once again, so this is Choked Up, Cry About It, Boomer, back on that really old trickle sow.
I would add on this litter, it was gilt heavy. There are 4 gilts in 4 different states, and I think they're all going to end up having a very, very good summer. This is out of a gilt litter that was showed by the Rhodey family last summer. She stood second to the 5th overall gilt in Illinois. That we think this is going to be a sow to build around. So this boar got a lot of good in him.
Once again, that's Choked Up.
Kind of getting down to the end here. We're going to show you a Duroc boar that we raised here that I guess we're very, very proud of. This would be Crybaby's sister's first litter, bred to Boomer. That would have been the boar we talked about earlier. So we call him Baby Boomer. So this guy was one of those when he came out. We had 2 Boomer litters, all we had. He was hurt, and both those litters were extremely, extremely good. I mean, he stamped bone. We bought him kind of to breed these teardrop sows too because they needed a little more dimension. They had the bone, they had the structure, they had the design, and we got him bred to 2 of those. Had the 1 litter and the 2 litters. That was the only 2 litters we had. Now we've got more coming. So that is Baby Boomer. That is Boomer on Crybaby's littermate sister.
Okay, the boar we're looking at now is a boar we named Maxed Out. Obviously, I think you can tell by the video. I'm not even sure this video does him justice how massive he really is. And the first thing I'm going to tell everybody about the baby boomers, because he is a baby boomer, and he is on a Crybaby sow, which is she goes back to the loaded goat sow that is the mother of Tearjerker, the boar that we've already spoke of earlier. But this boar is just like all the babies. I mean, you got to take these things, and I know we all have them, but some of those sleeker headed, so some of those sows that are really kind of unique in their design, but they just don't quite have enough to them. This guy will add the added bells and whistles in terms of power, but he's not going to screw them up. I mean, he's going to keep those hogs very, very functional. He's perfect coming at you. He's square going away. Just an opportunity to use something on those more tweaked out, cool fronted ones that you need to maybe shorten a little bit and maybe put a little more stoutness and just a little more total product. So once again, that's Maxed Out Baby Boomer Crybaby Loaded Goat.
One thing Britt's not telling you is this boar came out of the slatted building 10 days before this video was shot. This hog just kept coming, getting better and better. He's going to add fleshability to these hogs, which is going to be a real plus for these people. You know, it's hard doing hogs.
Yes.
But this hog just came out of the slatted building, so you're seeing what he really is.
Yep. He will look different, in 2 weeks for sure.
Duroc boar in the ring. This is Jayhawk. Jayhawk would not have been here last year. We bought Boomer from Big Pop Pigs out there, Brian Schultz in Kansas at the expo, and he had a little shoulder problem. And Brian sent me a video of this guy out checking sows. He was just a January hog, so he's a green bottles, back on a Maximus. And when we got this hog back here, I was like, oh my. So we had a few late litters out of him that were very, very good, and we've got a very nice set of pigs on the ground out of him right now. I mean, those hogs have bone. They've got muscle. They've got a really, really good look. And this is the boar you need to look at right here. Of course, green bottles, I mean, needs no introduction, but I mean, I think this is a green bottle son that is actually legit. So, once again, that is Jayhawk.
Okay, the boar we're looking at now is No Hitter. That's the boar that we purchased out there in Tulsa at the exchange, from the Geyer family that was raised by the Canal family. I don't know what I even need to say about this guy. I mean, obviously, people know what the Canal success has been, and the fact that Geyer has a pretty sharp eye and goes around and finds some of the best ones as they work together and decide to offer this guy as a boar. So we were extremely pleased to bring him back here to Chrisman. You're seeing him now in his working clothes. You've probably seen a video before when he was young and in show shape. I can tell you what, this guy in his working clothes is even better. Kind of funny belted on one side, but if you study the structure, you study the bone, you study the rear foot, the length of stride for a boar in his working clothes, we're pretty excited here about No Hitter. So he is a heavy hitter. Obviously, that needs no introduction there. The extremely popular boar there at Premium Blend, and then back on. So this sow is Play It Cool's littermate sister. So which is a never before Rule 21, and that's one of the elite sows there at Kyle's. So real excited about this boar here to offer him here at High Point.
If you got feet and leg trouble, here's the answer. This boar's toes are really good. He goes to the ground. There's no pastern trouble at all. If you need to fix that, this is the boar to use.
The boar we're looking at now is the mature boar, Stranger Things. We decided as a group when we were trying to not have to video all the older boars, we decided, well, we're going to do Stranger Things. I don't know where to start here. He was the sire of a majority of our pigs this spring. He was the boar we purchased there at the Indiana State Fair last year from True that Bowden's bred. And we have been so excited about this set of pigs. The thing is, everybody, well, have they won anything? Guys, we bought this boar to Indiana last year in the end of August. So his pigs are just now reaching fighting weight. And I can tell you what, we've had a lot of reports. We've got a lot of people that have seen some of these pigs, and I can tell you what, we're very, very excited. I think the video speaks for itself. I think we are going to probably continue to use this boar maybe as much this time as we did last time, and there's very few times that we would say that.
I'll tell you this, by weaning the set of pigs today, the best 2 litters might have been out of this boar. I didn't bring enough sows to this guy for the summer. We're going to go back and use him. The pigs are just so consistent. I ain't going to say they're all great ones, but they're a very, very consistent set of hogs. I have no problem using this boar. I mean, he's short back, big legged. I mean, stout mugged. Just a boar that I'm glad we got a chance to buy part into.
I would say the consistency, what Tom's talking about, is the one thing that I've seen more than anything by using boars here and buying outside semen. I don't know as I've seen one that just stamps litter to litter consistency like Stranger does. So very excited about Stranger Things, and makes a lot of semen. He's very fertile. I think you need to sample this guy. The boar we're looking at now is a boar we called Oreo. He's an all-out. His mother is a prime cut Goosebumps. So that sow is a littermate to the other prime cut Goosebump sow that had the champion Hampshire Bear at Houston. Now those 2 sows are different. So this one is the more moderate, the stouter one than the mother of another boar we're going to talk about earlier. So we were fortunate enough to get in early. When I talked to John Mullet there last fall about all that, I saw the video, and we had those handful of litters. And guys, I'm telling you, we were just very, very lucky to get on the beginning of this. We had some winners at some Barra shows there that we'll be advertising. We sent a boar to Goss Livestock that's been called Beast Mode. That there will be semen available later on down the line somewhere somehow. But we probably got 20 litters on the ground as we sat here the mid to end of July, and quite a few more coming out of this one. And I'll let Tom and Cole, they're both sitting here. They just weaned a bunch of pigs out of Oreo, and I'll let them do a slight comment just on what we're thinking here right now.
We just weaned them today as we're doing this voiceover. The hogs look really impressive as far as their build and look to them. Brett did tell you this was my pick to go to one of Mark Stanley's sales. It probably got a little too big before the second sale, so we just decided to put them back. We threw them out on the old Cargill floor all winter.
And that's where they lived.
This hog just looked more impressive every day, and I'm sure glad we did. Him and his litter mate. We sure got a lot of faith in them. We did wean some today. There's a couple of them that look like this. So if you people are interested in making some of these colored up hogs, this is the one to use.
But I can also say don't predict the color because it's crazy from litter to litter. But we're real excited. Our opinion on the all outs, they just offer a little more true muscle and width than some of these modern boars. And I think anybody that saw all out over there at Premium Blend now, I mean, he's just a massive, massive dude. And I mean, we're just excited that we got to use that thing early on and get to benefit from some of those genetics. Once again, this is Oreo. So this is double stuff. So this is Oreo's littermate brother. Pedigree again is all out, prime cut, goosebumps. Once again, like that sow, we got a pair of those three. She's the more moderate sow. The littermate's the mother of the champion hemp at Houston. This boar in comparison to Oreo, I think if you see here, he is probably a little shorter backed. He's probably even more busted open. He probably is just wider from front to rear. I don't know. We didn't get to use him as much early. He was behind. I mean, Oreo just grew and grew and grew. They were raised out on the Cargill. But we're pretty excited about this one right now. We think with what's out there with these hairy, big-boned hogs that some of them maybe can use just busted open, in our opinion, a little more. I'm talking big bladed, I'm talking big ribbed, I'm talking short backed, I'm talking for as much hind leg as muscle as he's got. That hind leg is very, very, very good with a really good, attractive ear. Like I say, I mean, I'll let Tom comment because he's the one that saw him every day growing.
I don't know about you, but I always like the double stuff Oreos. They've just got a little bit more to them, and that's why we named him double stuff. He, like Brent says, he is busted open. I mean, a barrel ribbed hog is not a slow fronted hog. Hog's got plenty of height to his shoulder.
He really does, absolutely.
I mean, this hog, you just have to almost see him in person to really appreciate these pair of boars. I mean,
and everybody's going to say well, he doesn't have any hair. We'll know because he's the age he's already shed it this summer. So yeah, he has no hair in this video. And we did not know how to spell double stuff earlier. It was just one F in double stuff. If anybody looked that up on an Oreo ad, so that is double stuff. Okay, the crossbred boar we're looking at now is a boar that is called Ricky around here at High Point. So what Ricky is, that is an out for blood, the boar there at Premium Blend, the boar that Mox raised. Then his mother, this is Beast Mode's mother. I will tell you briefly, there is another boar in this litter that was injured the day of the video, and we will have a video probably within the next 10 days. But this is kind of the barrel boar in the litter. So Ricky, once again, is out for blood. Beast Mode's mother, what that makes him, that is a no intro on the boss. And that boss sow is Prime Cut's mother. So sow power here is awesome. I'll just go ahead and cheat right now. She has wide awakes in the farrowing crate right now. And we're pretty excited about this sow. Once again, this is Ricky, out for blood, beast mode's mother.
I'll just tell you a little bit about the name of this boar. He was named at an early age. Dave Geyer was in the barn looking at bears this spring, seen this hog, and he said, I got to have that one. And we knew what sow he was out of. So Dave, it probably ain't going to happen. He said, I need to have it. Well, Dave's daughter, Nalani, is showing a steer named Ricky. That steer has been undefeated at 4 or 5 shows, and not even nobody's warmed him up yet. So Dave says, you got to name the boar Ricky. And so we did. And this hog, if you need some middle, shorten their backs up, this is the boar to use.
Hair, hip and hind leg. Yep. So once again, beast mode's mother, bred to out for blood. This is Ricky. Okay, the crossbred boar we're looking at now is a boar that we call Fearless. So what Fearless is, that is a play the game. Play the game is a boar that Troy Gosney purchased there from Decker's. Play the game is Wildside's littermate brother. Once again, I had a conversation with some people and I heard about this play the game out there at Troy Gosney's, and we reached out and used him. And this litter was the deepest litter by far we had this year. Our top, most of our top selling barrows came out of this litter. There's 2 of these boars. Once again, this sow is the mother of the champion Hampshire bear at the Houston Livestock Show. That was her gilt litter. This is her second litter. There are barrows in 4 states out of this litter. We retained 2. There was only 1 gilt in this litter. I'll kind of let the video, maybe Thomas come in and speak for us. This guy is different. Now, I'm not saying he's for everybody, and I know a local Yorkshire breeder here that has a bunch of Yorkshire sows that he wants to pretty up, add the bone, and put the look, and I would say he's going to use this guy quite a bit. Just a very unique boar.
This boar's front 2/3 are just, I guess I really, for what these people are wanting show barrows to look like up through their front end, through their jowl and head carriage, this boar is really got. I have extremely good litter. This sow, she's a tall fronted, geeky fronted sow.
Yep, with big feet, big legs. And this boar's young. He's just now coming into his own. Just kind of studying, like I say, depends on the sow. But this guy, for people that have some of those shorter, clubbier, chubbier ones that need to level their hips and do some things, this guy is a changer in one shot. So once again, Fearless. The board we're looking at right now is a board we call Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is one of a pair of litter mates we'll be looking at. So they are out of Testify. Their mother is a prime cut back on a timber. So that timber sow was the boar that, the gilt that Riley Grinstead showed there at the Summer Type Conference, the National Junior Show 2 summers ago, and was reserve champion crossbred that they'd purchased from Steve Harvey family. And then this is a prime cut daughter, which those things seem to keep generating. Then back on the Testify there from Boble, that they're at Premium Blend. This pair of boars is very, very unique. I mean, you want to talk about one that is unique. This is him. I mean, he has got the balance, the look, the design, the flexibility. But study the skull. I mean, he's going to add stoutness in a unique package. So I'll let Tom come. He's seen these boars all along. I mean, this thing's unique. Once again, he has shed his hair. He was hairy. You'll see his littermate, but he is very, very unique.
This boar here, like Brent says, he is unique in that head. I mean, he is a stout mug, sound moving boar. I mean, probably the right amount of length of body.
Absolutely.
Maybe just, you'd like to soften him just a little bit right now. But boar, it's got shape. I mean, there's a lot of these hogs that need shape. I hate to tell people that, but they need some real shape in these hogs. And this boar's got some shape at top.
So once again, Bitcoin, and like I say, we'll be videoing his littermate. So the boar we're looking at right now is a boar we call Crypto. Crypto is a littermate to Bitcoin. So that pedigree, once again, reads Testify, prime cut timber, which that sow is the Steve Harvey family gilt that was reserved for Riley Grinstead. These hogs were purchased from Positive Energy there. This guy, when we purchased Bitcoin, I went ahead and had an argument with Justin that night. I said, you know what? The reason this boar is named Crypto is he is one up, one down. That means he is a crypt. He's been collected multiple times. His semen is extremely good. We've been in this business long enough. We have done this many times years ago in the past, years and years ago. We're not concerned about it. That's up to other breeders to decide if they're concerned about this. The reason we felt like we had to have this boar is this guy, when you see this guy in person, he is a monster. Now, he's carrying a left hind leg in this video. He's been injured. He's been magnawaved now about 6 times. He is getting better. But we just feel like this guy is just absolutely unique. I mean, just has been fun to watch his whole life. Just kind of a creature.
This boar here, if you need to add some of that middle body to these sows, I mean, tremendous rib cage, depth of body. Just he's like his brother. He's a stout mugged one. That's been a very, very good litter. I think there was a litter mate Barra showed out there by O'Neill's in Indiana. Yep. Did very good at your county. So this is a very, very good litter. These boars will not disappoint you.
We decided to keep this one intact because we're going to breed sows to this pair of boars. So once again, that's Crypto and Bitcoin, both purchased there from Positive Energy. And like I say, we're very excited about this young pair of crossbred boars.
Okay, so the next boar coming out, I mentioned earlier that young Mr. Michaels here, I've known Ryan. Grant Grabner was a very good friend of mine back when he did all of my marketing. When Ryan went to college over there, Grabner kind of got me connected with young Mr. Of course, I've known Todd and Don forever, so Ryan's become a good friend of mine, and I trust their opinion, and he told me about this prime cut boar that they were going to put in the draft. So I get out there. This is a true story, and there was the one they had in the draft. Of course, you know what size they are, and then there's the litter mate, then there's the other litter mate, and I had them get all 3 of them out because it was, I don't even know for sure which was the best one, right? I mean, there was some differences, but they were all very, very high-quality animals. So they bred, this sow is a square edge, must be potent. I mean, Ryan gave me a list of all our winners out there in Ohio. This hog for a prime cut, and all 3 of those boars in that litter, and you saw prime cut earlier, and I know how he sires, he stamps them, but this litter of pigs, they had a little more dimension of rib, the same kind of look, the bone, but you get up on top of this hog for the age he is, and I can tell you how he's been fed. This hog's got a lot. When you get right up on top of him, he tracks away wider than some of those prime cuts. Study his tail head. This guy will get used here at High Point. I mean, he's got more rib than some of those primes, and we're pretty high on this hog because we just know what prime's done here. And every time we've lined prime up back on like the butcher and stuff, so I mean, that's just me talking about our program. But this is a boar you need to study that could be a very, very big-time sleeper boar. Different pedigree. There, you know, you've got no tricked out, obviously. I mean, not that that's bad, but I mean, you know, kind of an outcross deal here. The belt should be very good. We don't know for sure color, you know, what he'll do, you know, but I could see this hog working in a lot of places. So we called him Prime Time. Good boar, Ryan.
All right, so the boar on the screen, all white boar, this is GW. So this would be a tricked out son that we got from Caleb and Chet Bowden out there in West Virginia. The boys, they race Stranger Things that we also here have on stud. Couldn't be happier to get this boar here and make some blue babies where we want to breed into our crossbred sows. I mean, you talk about the bone and look. This dude has extra short body, but yet he's still got a ditch down his back. And whenever he moves, he's got a great big hip and hind leg. Really, really good boar we got here put together. That pedigree, so it reads Tricked Out Crickets. Great sow family. Bowden's been texting me some pictures of the sow family, couple of the littermate gilts, and hey, these things got bone and power and look. That's all I'm going to say. Really, really good, neat boar here. Can't thank Bowden's enough for getting him here.
A lot of people don't know these Bowdens, but they tear a swath out there on the east side of out there in Virginia. Those boys do a very, very good job. Chet called, put the hog on a trailer. I picked him up in the middle of the night one night. This hog's got a lot of good in him. I mean, he's had no TLC, got a lot of good, but like I say, he's a short-backed white one with a geek front. I mean, this one here, if you want to make some of them blue hogs that can win, this one sure can do it.
Call this one GW.
The Yorkshire boar that we're looking at right now comes from Lorenzen Farms. His name is Instant Power. So, had a discussion with Tracy. The two older boars that he has here that have never really been offered publicly for semen, he decided to go ahead and offer them because he just started winning his first litters and he's really excited. Instant Power would have been born in July of 23, so like I say, the first litters are just hitting the decks up there at Lorenzen Farms. Instant Power is an instant all times a closure sow. Closure would have been the same, he would have actually been a litter mate to the Rose and the Sinclair gilts there that were the record selling gilts at that time when that expo was in Indy. That's a closure high country. I would say that if Tracy would tell you, he would say these pigs are probably as stout as anything that he's put in the decks at this time. Like I say, it's first time he's been offered to the public. He was brought in here, in the summertime. We never photoed, we never videoed. We just left him unavailable. I think you can tell from the video. I mean, this guy is stout. I mean, stout. He has never had any TLC. He came right from the slats right to the boar barn. You can tell by the little scuff on his skin. He's probably not been maintained at a high level. He's just been in here working and breeding sows. Just study the video. I mean, this guy's more impressive in person even than this video. So excited. I mean, what Lorenzen's starting to do in this Yorkshire breed, I mean, you can kind of see some of his hogs are the stoutest ones out there. And as stout as this guy is, study that hip and hind leg. I just think this is a guy that I guess you guys ought to be excited that Tracy decided to offer to the public. Okay, the mature Yorkshire boar we're looking at right now is a boar we call Snow White. So what Snow White is, that is a big step, commotion. That sow is a litter mate to the Rose and Sinclair gilt, litter mate to Closure. That would have been the two record-selling gilts, and the Closure boar that's also the mother of Instant Power. Snow White was brought over here. He was born in June of 2022, and Tracy brought him over here because he wanted to make Yorkshire females. There's been very little semen made available on him. Tracy's already laid back a bunch of females, and I can tell you what, you can talk to him and Landry what they think, but they decided to offer him to the public. He's named Snow White because when he brought him over, he was covered in you-know-what, and we never thought we'd get him white, and I'm not sure we have yet. But just study this guy for a mature Yorkshire boar. That's all I got to say. I don't have to speak about him. Just unbelievable. In his first crop there, he did have champion Yorkshire gilt there at Georgia there in January of 24. Now Snow White's mother also is the mother of the Bloomberg gilt that just won CPS here just a couple weeks ago. Same sow. So just an impressive mature Yorkshire boar. That's what breeding boars are supposed to look like right there, guys. So once again, you got an opportunity to buy in some of the heart of the Lorenzen program that has had a very, very dominating summer for this Yorkshire breed.
Believe it or not, this is about the second or third time this hog's ever been out of the boar stud. So we was real great that he cooperated. But you got to come see this one in person to see the hair. And you guys want to talk about hairy feet, hairy on legs. This one's got that steer kind of hair.
Yep, unique opportunity here.
All right, the Yorkshire boar coming in the ring. I guess we're pretty proud of this one. So, of course, he couldn't go to Expo or Louisville because I can't say what I was going to say because he's a September. So Tracy decided that he fed him this summer, and once again, he was like all the Tracy. He was on the slats. He said, "I got one," but he's on the slats. So I went over and looked at him the day he came off the slats. I said, "I don't know what you want me to say." I saw him about 2 weeks later off the slats. I was like, "Okay, we got to figure something out here real quick." So this is a reality check. So I know everybody out there is looking for Yorkshires, and I know it's kind of been hard to find true breeding Yorkshire hogs. So reality check is out of Deja Vu. We talked earlier about Bigfoot's mother was, so the Rose gilt, the Sinclair gilt, then Deja Vu was the next time, and then this, so Deja Vu is the same mating as the mother of Bigfoot. So he's out of Deja Vu, and then this Commotion sow is one of Tracy's elite young sows. And so this is probably the first time Tracy ever bred Commotion to a Commotion, a Commotion son to Commotion daughter. And the only reason he did is because his son told him to. Is that correct, Mr. Lorenzen? Yep, he wouldn't do it. And I'm guessing they're going to continue to do it. So this is a reality check, a Deja Vu, back on a Commotion. So a Commotion son bred to a Commotion daughter. And I know what Tracy thinks about this one, how hard he's going to use him. And I guess we're pretty pumped up about this young Yorkshire sire. Next boar out is Redemption. Once again, he's over there in a boar pen. He's not being pampered. So Redemption was the champion, top selling boar at Summer Type Conference last year from DJ and Amara. Once again, another Commotion son. His mother was a Shine On. We're going to show you another boar here later that goes back to Shine On. For those that don't remember Shine On was a boar we bought from Drake's at Indiana back quite a few years ago that was an amped up and went back to Drake's really good maternal sows, and amped up at that time was dominating the Yorkshire breed. Those Shine On females have popped back in these pedigrees quite a bit the last couple of years, and he was a very unique boar. The maternal side there is very good, and so this boar sired the champion, the top selling Yorkshire boar at Louisville this year, the Lorenzen sold to Olson's. And from what I've seen, this guy will transmit bone. Those, I've seen quite a few of them now, and the bone is awesome. Probably protect him a tick in the hip behind, and just go. I mean, this boar needs to be used this time. He did not get used heavy enough last fall. I can guarantee you that for what he's going to do. So that is Redemption.
Okay, the Supersonic boar, known here at High Point early here in the summer as basically 4-7, comes from the 4 litter, which I guess we're going to brag a little bit on this litter. I would say could potentially be the litter of the summer in the Hampshire breed. So in the 4 litter, his 2 litter mate gilts, they're at Indianapolis there at the World Pork Expo, or I guess the exposition. The Shoop gilt was very, very popular there. She's a litter mate to this boar, and then so her and the litter mate gilt, they both won their class, and then the litter mate gilt to the Shoop gilt, she goes on and shows up there in Louisville and is reserve grand champion Hampshire gilt there, and was very, very, very popular there at Louisville. I would say the 4 litter is not done. I would say the 4 litter has got a couple more pigs to show you at this summer. We're not going to give any hints away tonight, but the 4s are Slowdowns. That sow is an ice chatter. She was shown by Hallie Rhodes there very successfully all summer last summer, and I would say she's probably going to be maybe the foundation sow, one of easily the foundation sows here at High Point. So once again, this is Supersonic. That is a Slowdown ice chatter. Okay, the Hampshire boar we're looking at right now, this is Hammer Down. We decided to name these Slowdown pigs a little opposite than we did him, because I think he has souped up and sped up the Hampshire program here at High Point in his first season. I mean, the Slowdown thing here has been amazing for no more litters than we had. So Hammer Down is a Slowdown lion share, known around here early before we named him as 9-7. Like I'm telling you, we just had a handful of these Slowdown litters, and I think he's indicative of what these things are. I mean, the success that we've had just on these few litters, and guys, we've got them on the ground now for these summer litters. And we could not be more excited. I mean, I wish we'd had more of them, and that will not be a problem next time. But once again, this is Hammer Down. It's another Slowdown son that's had a very, very successful summer there, back on the lion's share sow. I mean, I'll let the video speak for itself on this one. I mean, Tom and Cole are sitting here with me, and I think this one might be just as good as we've ever made. I mean, I think he checks all the boxes. So once again, that's 9-7, Hammer Down.
All right, next board in the ring is people give me some crap on my names this year because I don't like naming boars, so I kind of got redundant, I guess. So this is Slowdown. So this is the boar we bought from Keplinger on the draft. I was out there at Seth's probably just a couple days before the draft, and I was like, well, that one probably needs to be owned. Now, he was a little green at that time, but, man, he had a look. I mean, he could handle it. He probably was only sold on the draft because Bellamy probably would have said he was 2 hairs too short on that one side there show at Louisville. If this guy had been at Louisville, he probably would have been a fairly expensive boar. So, once again, a danger. Keplinger's got a very, very nice, not known for Hampshires, but he showed me his Hampshire sows that day. He's got 4 or 5 of those, and that pair of Danger Zone sows, man, they're very, very elite. So once again, he's at a Showdown, the boar there at Premium Blend from Harvey's a year ago, back on a Danger Zone sow there at Keplinger's. And guys, steady up here. You're going to see a few Hampshire boars here in a minute, and but don't miss the boat on this guy. It's hard from the side to kind of sit down and see up on. If you got up on top of this hog there's a lot of good here. A lot of good. Once again, that is Slowdown.
Okay, this is Blue Chip, the champion and top selling boar there at the Fall Classic last year, bred by Stremsifers. He is he's out of a Chatter son that was bred there by Daryl and Travis Harvey. His mother is a Top Gun that was raised there by Stremsifers, an elite, powerful sow there. If anybody knows anything about Stremsifer sows, they are bred and they are powerful and they do generate. We've had some luck here with some of their stuff here. But anyway, this hog is probably one of the unique Hampshire boars here. He's in pin 1 there at High Point. I mean, for a mature boar, he is great big ribbed. He's great big chested. He is boxy, but he's not short bodied, and he's got a great hip and hind leg with a really good belt. So we think Blue Chip is a really, really good option for people out there looking to make these Hampshires better. So once again, this is Blue Chip, bred by Stremsifers, top selling boar there at Fall Classic.
So this is Vice. So that is the date night sow that was the mother of Viper and Ice a year ago. So we bred her off season to 31-2, who you saw earlier. This was her last litter. She literally died when those pigs were nursing her about 19 days. So Vice is a 31-2. Back on the date night sow, there is no Danger Zone, which it would include Top Gun. There is no Chatter, which would include Hands Down. This is an outcross to the modern Hampshire breed as we know it today. Now, there are other things in there, but, I mean, there is so much saturation with all this Top Gun stuff. I'm not saying it's bad. Just saying you have to kind of have something to move forward. He is kind of gimping on the front foot today. He's never done that. But study the boar for one that is this big outline, that has that kind of hip and hind leg, even though he's carrying the foot a little bit today. Watch his chest floor if you get a chance to see him come at you for an elevated hog. That's no sissy for a big hog. If we can make big ring Hampshire gilts with that kind of hip and hind leg, that elevated at the front, that kind of true bone, I think we got one in front of us that is like a breed changer for having a different pedigree for today's standards. So we're very excited. The pigs are on the ground. say we've got power drive pigs, vice pigs, and we could not be more excited about the future Hampshires here at High Point, and we're not done yet. Once again, that is Vice. Next born in the ring is, I guess I don't even know as I even really need to talk about him because we got a barn full of them right out here. And he will be heard from. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So this is Power Drive. Power Drive is out of Fancy Like, which was the Crowder boar that we bought there at Indiana with rules. A couple of years ago, Fancy Like went back and was premier sire to Indiana, as a young boar, was premier sire there last year. Fancy Like has since we lost his semen quality. So this had been one of the last litters out of Fancy Like. And this is one of those New Day sows. Like I say, we've got 31 twos out of one of those 230s. We got Better Days, who was hurt. We did not show. And then this is this is Power Drive. We've got about 12 to 14 litters. We had a few of these before we had the Vices. And I'm just telling you right now, guys, this is a changer. Those hogs have as good a head and as good a look through the front end as you can make on a Hampshire for power hogs. There is no ear problem. The belts are good. The toes are good. They're a rib shorter, but on those sows that are right, we're pretty excited about what we got on the ground here. Hind leg on those looks good. Power Drive got hurt when he was probably, 8 or 9 months old. He went out on the sand. He's back in the barn now. He carries that right hind leg a little bit still today. But this was one of those young boars. If we'd ever taken him out to the public when he was in his prime, would have been really, really fun for everybody to see because he was an off-season hog. Just study the hog. Remember the name. There's going to be a lot. I've had a lot of calls on people that got pigs out of him, and like I say, we got a barn full of them out there, and we could not be more excited than we are right now. That's the way Hampshire heads need to look right there. So this is the litter mate. This was the one that was a little more mature, but, this hog is just never, ever. He's looked like this from the day he's been there. Had a couple discussions with a couple of old school Hampshire breeders here this week, and we were talking about ear set. Great discussion. Everybody's got different opinions. And this gentleman said, he goes, some of the true breeding hogs over the years have had an ear set like that. And I cannot disagree with that. Look at Danger Zone. Just study what can happen. He's got a very unique, different ear. Like Cole said, pull them things back. He's got a skull. He's got a little more of that kind of breeding Hampshire face. And like I say, we could sit around here as old Hampshire breeders all day and discuss head and ear set. But let's get past that and then let's study the boar. That's all I got to say. That one's got shape. He's got muscle. He reaches and goes off both ends. He's got extremely good bone for where he's at in age and maturity. He could go out here all day long. So again, we call him Cold Chill. Back in May, Todd and I talked. Beatty had decided to sell his choice of his pair of boars there out of Gooshy. For those of you who don't know what Gooshy is, that's the Hampshire gilt that when I was out there 2 years ago and bought bells and whistles, when I got out there at John Penner's place, if none of you ever been there, it's one of the most gorgeous, coolest hog farms you'd ever been to in your life. You can ask about it. It's unbelievable. Pens are so long. And that Hampshire sow was walking down there. She was in pen 1. I'm like, what? I didn't dream she was a Hampshire. And so he said, that's Gooshy. That's the gilt that Forts had showed at San Antonio, Houston, and, kind of dominated that Southwest purebred Hampshire deal and was one of the most impressive Hampshire sows that I've ever seen in my life. She was just amazing. So when Kyle and I talked, so he bred her to ice and had this late January litter right there at the end of January. And we put them on Todd's cell there, and they were a little green. But I just knew the sow. We had enough early ice pigs. I was pretty confident. So we ended up taking the pair. So this is the one we call Subzero. This was the one that was a little later maturing. was a little greener, and I don't think he's still yet where he's going to be when he's done. So just really pumped about the pedigree being out of ice and being out of that Gucci sow and what these two young boars can do going forward. And we're just very, very excited. Just study this pig, and just I think in a month, I think you're just going to be amazed. Just watching him develop over the last 30 days has just been incredible. So once again, that is Subzero. Next boar coming in is the Hampshire boar that we purchased at Summertime Conference from Maggie's. We named him Meltdown. Obviously, I don't think he will melt down. So this is an ice, and Maggie's were telling me the story on this sow down there. So the great-grandmother is Grand Prix's littermate sister. And for those of you that haven't followed the Hampshire deal, Grand Prix was the grand entrance son we brought from Maggie's, and those sows have been absolutely phenomenal. That's one of our regrets, that we did not breed more to Grand Prix or keep more Grand Prix daughters. They just had more structure, had more bone. They were durable, and those Grand Prix daughters were very, very good. So they bred Grand Prix's daughter to Marvel, and then bred that Marvel gilt to Dark Side. So there's 3 generations of sows there, and then they bred her back to Ice. So this was the 3rd boar that sold there at Louisville. We weren't going down there looking for another Ice son, but I don't think we had one here that was as stout as Meltdown. There was some criticism down there. Well, he had just this head that was maybe da-da-da. Well, we got him home, and we took a little hair off that head to see what was really there, because everybody likes hair. Well, this guy had a lot of it. We trimmed him down a little bit, and he's pretty good there. He has got monster legs. You watch him come at you, he's square at the ground. You watch him go away. Yep, he's not perfect. Yeah, you could flex him a little more. But to get this kind of bone and get a hog that could go all day long, I guess we're very, very pleased that he landed here at High Point. I can tell you that. So we've got sows here that still can use that, and he will get used here quite a bit. So that is Meltdown, the Maggie Ice son from Louisville. Littermate boar sold to Canes. He was the reserve champion down there. So it was an excellent litter. Excellent sow behind there, and out of ice, which that's starting to prove itself to be pretty good. Once again, Meltdown.
Alrighty, so we got the Berkshire boar ball and chain on the screen now. So his pedigree reads top shelf, special effect, whatever it takes. That whatever it takes out, that's the same Grand Dam as off the chain that the Trogdon boys sold there, to Premium Blend that they have over there. And that'd also be the same sow line of all the winners. Did that tearing up at Fort Worth and Houston. Had a real good run there this fall. Can't really like this boar. I mean, you want to talk about this one's look and bone. He's got a really unique look from the side. Went in and bought this boar early at Trogdon's pig sale open house they have there at the farm with Nick Hamilton. And Nick was he was pumped to get in on this one whenever we saw him as a little pig, and can't be happier to have him in stud. So the pedigree reads top shelf, special effect, whatever it takes. I mean, we got this dude here on stud, and he just got better every day.
I'd hate to see what this one might have cost this summer if Trogdon's would have brought him out. This one's got some unique pieces which Berkshire hogs have kind of gotten away from. I mean, he's stout-headed, big boned, good on his feet and leg and toes. I mean, this boar here is just got a lot of good in him. I'm glad that Nick happened to pull me over to the site, Trogdon, and say, hey, we need to buy this boar. And I'm glad he did. I mean, this hog's got a lot of good for these Berkshire pigs.
And to sweeten the pot in on this, his littermate brother, he had been actually the champion Burke Barrel in the 4th overall there at the CPS Junior National show that the DeBlock family would have showed. So really unique, really good Burke boar. Get in here. All right, so Burke boar that we got on the screen is Magic Mike. Magic Mike, he was raised by Nick Hamilton down there just south of us. So he is a dig deep, kicking rocks blackout. Really, really neat boar. He's got some really unique pieces. You want to talk about how that one's super stout skulled, yet he's got the flexibility and good moving. Really unique boar that we're happy to have here from Nick. Going to go ahead and have Parker talk about some success that the mate gilts had.
The bottom side here, the sows here, this sow line would be the foundation females of Hamilton's down there. A lot of the gilts that win for Nick and his crew down there go back to these group of sows. Those sows and daughters have been key generators for them. Littermate's sister was Reserve Berkshire gilt down there at LSU.
And then this boar's mother, he'd also be share the same mother as Southern Thunder, there that Southern Gold has, and they'd also be the mother would have been the Reserve Grand Breeding Gilt at the Kentucky State Fair in 2021. So can't just thank Nick enough for having this boar here. He's got some really unique pieces for the Berkshire industry. Really think he can do some good. So this is Magic Mike. He's a dig deep, kicking rocks blackout.
So the boar in the ring is a Berkshire boar called Rooster. I was talking to my buddy Heimer at Louisville, and I said, hey, we have not found a Berkshire boar this year that I thought was just that one. I'm not saying he wasn't out there. I'm just saying, I said, I know he's got a lot of them over there and a lot of good ones. I said, I need a good one. So Rooster was bred by Hogue. He's a monster. Family jewels. Of course, Heimer's pedigrees go on and on and on. Shut your mouth. So Hogue bred him. He went to Heimer's, and I'm told by Jesse and Carl and the crew over there that most of their pigs that will be coming up showing at these shows here through the fall and the winter are mostly all sired by Rooster, and their prediction is these things are going to be elite. I've been told that. Mark Hogue agreed and Heimer agreed that we'd send him over here and start offering him to the public because, I mean, they have bred so many to him. I think there is an opportunity here for Berkshire breeders. I think this one, from what I know and what I've heard on the pigs, I think this one is a creature. The Tamworth boar that just walked in the ring we call Next Step. Cole Webster and my project a few years ago that Cole named McSexy has been an absolute slam dunk home run. So we have been looking and looking and looking, and for that next step to follow McSexy, not only in quality but in type and kind. And so Blaine Slayton called me way back in the spring and said, hey, I found a Tamworth boar that is really, really elite. Barron's Farms here in Illinois bred this guy, and he brought him over. We dropped him off up there at the quarantine barn, and I ran him out. I'm like, oh, my. We call this one Next Step, and I do think he is legit that. I mean, with as good as this Tam thing's gotten, we're just really, really excited. I mean, this one can put a lot of pieces together. We've already had a lot of demand. I mean, the photos have been out. We've had a lot of people seen him early. I mean, of course, he's at the age. I mean, semen quality's good, volume's good. So we're pretty pumped on this one. So that is the Next Step. We are not showing McSexy. He is still going very strong. Just once again, from a time standpoint, I don't know how many times he's been out here and people have seen him, so we chose not to show, but he is going strong. Semen's good. But that is Next Step. All right, so this is the spot boar that we call Only One. So I talked to Matt Miller earlier in the summertime, and Matt said, Bolin, I got a couple spot boars you need to come up and look at. And when Matt says he's got some, he normally does. So I went up there, and this guy ran out. He'd never even been out of the pen that day, and I called Webster. I said, I think I might have found one. So I even took the video because I don't know as I'm an expert on anything, let alone spots or some of these other breeds. And so I sent the video. He goes, you better buy him. So we did. So he's the one, which is the Norman hog that Matt bought the year that we bought Sure Thing. That was a very, very good hog that's done a lot of good. His mother's a pit crew. So now the interesting thing, so his litter mate gilt was champion spot at the exposition in Springfield and third overall. And then the other litter mate gilt was champion spot at Louisville, not the same gilt. So he's had 2 litter mate gilts that have been champion this summer at the 2 national shows. So once again, that's the Miller Spot Boar called Only One.
This is a pole boar that we raised this year. We thought was pretty special when he's a baby pig, and we kept him. We call him Man in Black. He's out of Johnny Cash, and I have a black bear sow. That sow will be a full sister of the Grand at Illinois in 20. At the time, we thought Johnny Cash was negative. Well, we get a phone call after the pig's on the ground that he's a carrier. So that didn't line up too good. We lined up with carrier sow. So this boar is a stress carrier. Very good litter of pigs. Cole's got a gilt. He's probably going to take state fair. I know there'll be another gilt state fair out in Illinois. There's one in Indiana, and there's a really good bear in Wisconsin out of this litter. So we're kind of like this boar. Now this boar's not near as mature as these other boars you've looked at. He's almost a fair boar. I think he's the 26th of January. So I mean he's a young hog, but Cole's pretty proud of this hog. I mean, he uses that hip and hind leg, and this is going to be a pretty awesome yearling boar, I think. So this is our Poland boar called Man in Black.
Yeah, it's just Braxton told me I needed to do a wrap-up deal, and first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to Braxton there at Walton and the entire Walton crew. Guys, we're blessed to have Walton webcasting as part of our industry. I want to say that first, because I don't get to travel like I used to. It's awesome to sit there in Walton and watch all these shows. I mean, so yeah, shout out to Walton and their entire team. Thanks to the crew here at High Point, and just hope you enjoyed the videos. Hope there's something there that can help you, and just feel free to reach out to myself, to Tom, to Cole, to Parker, and just if you got any questions, like I say, we're here available to try to show you boars anytime we can make it work. So thanks again.